Hi, my name is Deanna Clark-Esposito, and I'm with the Clark-Esposito Law Firm. I'm here today to talk with you about the Office of Foreign Assets Control, otherwise known as OFAC, and their general license versus a specific license. And I'm going to be sharing the differences between a general license and a specific license. I first want to point out that a license is only required when you want to engage in an activity that involves a country that we have restrictions on doing something with them. Most countries, we don't have any restrictions for the most part. And so you're able to conduct whichever kind of business activity you want to go visit, vacation there, meet with friends, you're able to do that. But a specific or general license, again, is only required or potentially required where you are trying to do an activity with an entity, a person in a particular part of the world, or the activity itself. So starting with a specific license. A specific license is something that is used where you want to conduct a certain activity, you want to go to a certain place, or you want to do something with a particular person. A specific license is something that you can request from OFAC itself. And what you would do is you would go ahead and lay out the entirety of the transaction, explaining who the parties are, what kind of transaction you're looking to have take place, the names of any other institutions which may be involved. For example, if there were a financial transaction, you would indicate the banks themselves, where those banks are located. Now, OFAC gives you a couple of options. They allow you to, first of all, ask them, hey, I have this proposed transaction that I'd like to conduct. Would this be okay to do it? They would then give you their feedback, yes, no, here's why no, if the answer were no. Separate from that, you can also simply make the license request. Now, OFAC, depending on what your transaction is, go ahead and send them the proposed transaction. Find out if it would actually be okay to do as opposed to just doing the transaction, in which case, if there is some wrongdoing, then you could be hit with a penalty. Or you can go ahead and just request the specific license itself. And I know people, companies oftentimes don't want to spend the money twice. I mean, this is what their thinking is. Why should I spend the money and ask them, hey, is this proposed transaction fine? Part of the reason for doing that, of course, is so that when you do go to actually spend the money, and make the investment on having a specific license that you submit, you can make sure that you've got each of the pieces that they want to see in the license in the way that they have already told you would be appropriate to do. And OFAC may not tell you do X, Y, Z, but OFAC, when you share with them the proposed transaction, will tell you if you cannot do something in particular. So you have an opportunity to rethink how you may want to engage in a particular transaction. Maybe there's another vendor that you could use instead of the one that you had originally been thinking about. But as opposed to obtaining a denial on a license, making that advance request gives you an opportunity to essentially get your license request done right, so that when you do go and submit it, you have a stronger chance of the license being approved. Then, of course, there's the OFAC general license. A general license is still governing what you can and can't do and with whom in a country for which there are certain restrictions that the U.S. has with that particular country, or people in the country, or a particular activity in the region. But what it does is the general licenses have already specified regulations that allow you to do certain things. So, for example, if a company wanted to do something in South Sudan or Iran, there are certain exceptions that allow for things like humanitarian aid, where if you wanted to export medical devices for humanitarian reasons, that already fits into a exemption. And so that exemption is within what we would call a general license. And when you have an exception that falls into a general license, then there's no need to apply for a specific license, Rather, you already have the general license under which you're able to conduct a transaction to that particular country or for that particular entity, whatever the case may be that the license is providing an exception for. If you'd like more information on OFAC or exporting or importing, check out our free resources page on our website. If you'd like us to help you with an OFAC license, feel free to contact us. You can reach us by email, you can reach us by calling our office, and you can also reach us by completing the contact form at the bottom of our homepage. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.